I would like to start this meeting by recognizing that the area that we call the Fraser Valley Regional District has been home to 31 different First Nations for generations. Actions and decisions made by governments in the past have left many Indigenous communities untrusting of the Canadian healthcare system. It is our collective responsibility to keep this at the forefront of our minds as we make decisions as a hospital board. Since the decisions we make have a direct impact on the physical and mental well-being of all community members, Indigenous and non-Indigenous. With that in mind, I would like to call to order the July 24th Fraser Valley Regional Hospital District Board meeting. Ms. Kinnaman.
Looking for approval of the agenda, and late items.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Director Facio, Director Dreesen. Those in favor, contrary, carried.
Item 4.1 is the draft Fraser Valley Regional Hospital District Board meeting minutes of June 26, 2025.
Director Ross and Director Gibson. Any errors or omissions? Seeing none. Those in favor, contrary, carried.
Item 5.1 is the 2025 Hospital District Treasury update for the second quarter. It's an information item, but we're happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Seeing none.
Moving down to reports from board directors.
Next item.
Moving to public question period for items relevant to the agenda, and we'll just turn things over to our corporate officer, Jamie Van Ness.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. We do have a few members of the public joining us tonight in person, and this would be your opportunity to ask a question relevant to the hospital district agenda. And we do have 3 members of the public joining us online as well. So for anybody joining us online, just hit your raise hand function if you do have a question relevant to the hospital district agenda.
Thank you. Any questions?
Doesn't appear that anybody has any questions, so we can move on to the next item.
Thank you. Ms. Kinnaman.
Okay, looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Director Facio, Director Shahal. Those in favor, contrary, carried.
All right, I'm up next. Good evening, everyone. I would like to recognize that the area we call the Fraser Valley Regional District has been home to Indigenous peoples for generations. There are 31 communities with reserved lands in the FERD's jurisdiction and as many as 69 groups with interests in the area. We honor our commitment to collaboration, inclusion, and reconciliation in our work here today and call to order the July 24th Fraser Valley Regional District Board meeting. And just welcome to alternate director Westering. Am I saying it correctly? Great. Thank you. All right. First item, Ms. Kinnaman.
Chair Ross, I would also just note that we also have alternate Director Workington here this evening.
Oh, sorry, Director Workington. Didn't look around all the way around the table. Welcome.
So for approval of the agenda, and late items, I would just note for the board's consideration, removing items 11.7 to 11.10. There are some pending requirements from the applicant in order for those to proceed. So we would just recommend removing those for this evening, and we'll bring them back at a future meeting, which is just to refresh 11.7, 11.8, 11.9, and 11.10 under bylaws.
All right. So next item.
Okay, looking for a resolution. Oh, sorry, we need a mover and a seconder on that one.
Yep, moved by Director Clute, seconded by Director Dixon. All in favor? Motion is carried. Next item.
Okay, now looking for a resolution to close the meeting.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Moved by Director Facio, seconded by Director Popov. All in favor? Carried. Next item.
Okay, we'll just take a minute to close the room for the closed portion.
We have all.
Yes, we do.
Great, thank you. All right, first item, please.
Okay, so item 6.1 is the Fraser Valley Destination Development Update, Experience the Fraser, and we have a delegation here this evening.
Thank you. Welcome. Please come forward.
Hi, good evening. Oh, good. Okay,
Good
it's
evening.
working. So nice to be here this evening. I'm Dana Miller. I'm the general manager of the Vancouver Coast and Mountains Tourism Region at Destination British Columbia. This is my first time visiting Chilliwack. I spent the day here and had just a fantastic tour and just was really blown away. Beautiful community. So it's really a pleasure to be able to have that time here and then to come and present to you today. Now, I'm going to confess I do have some notes because I've been given very strict instructions to stick to my time frame. So please let me proceed. So I want to also mention that I'm here with a whole number of partners, and I'd like to introduce them as well. First and foremost, Yvonne Chow, who is my colleague. She's our senior program advisor at Destination British Columbia, also part of the Vancouver Coast and Mountains Tourism Region. And I should mention that Destination British Columbia is a provincial crown corporation, and it leads the development and growth of BC tourism in this province. I'm also joined today by Alison Colthorpe, many of you know, I'm sure, Executive Director of Tourism Chilliwack, who is representing the tourism partners in the Fraser Valley Destination Management Council. Tourism Maple Ridge, sorry, I'm going to refer to my names. Amica, George Shabu, Tourism Maple Ridge. We also have Claire Seeley with Tourism Abbotsford, Erin Fredba from Tourism Harrison, Alison Colthorpe, as I mentioned, from Tourism Chilliwack, and Amica, Glasgow. I hope I got that right on. Okay, we just met today from Tourism Hope. It's a real pleasure to have this group here. So thank you. And I also want to mention thank you to the Fraser Valley Regional District Board for this opportunity to share some updates on the destination development in the Fraser Valley, which is a really key initiative in this region. And we call it, of course, Experience the Fraser Initiative. So I'd like to start with the sort of the big picture. And really what it comes down to is the value of tourism and the value of tourism to this province. I'd like to share some current information and specifically gives you sort of the context of what it contributes to this province. In 2023, tourism generated 9.7 billion in GDP. That was an increase of almost 10% year over year. And that surpassed BC's other natural resource industries, surprisingly, mining and quarrying, oil and gas, agriculture and fisheries, and forestry and lodging. So it contributes 22 billion in revenues. It employs almost 17,000 in terms of tourism businesses it represents. And employs 125,000 individuals in this province. For most of the last decade, tourism's contribution to the provincial GDP has grown at a faster rate than the economy as a whole. And as a sector is well positioned to grow well beyond. More at the regional level, some statistics that I think is important. It's a very vast province and it's divided into 6 tourism regions. As I mentioned, we represent the Vancouver Coast and Mountains regions, which produces over 54% of all overnight visitation into this province. That's more than half of BC tourism's revenue. The region is home to 85,000 tourism employees, and 60% of the tourism businesses in this province reside in this region. Now, beyond the pure dollars and cents, tourism supports critically important values, and these include generating jobs and well-paying careers, enabling entrepreneurship, creating pride and place, bringing people and communities together and supporting our social and cultural fabric, providing health benefits from recreating in nature, and generating tax revenue that pays for healthcare and social services, supports the economic sovereignty for First Nations communities. It creates economic value from protecting and enhancing the environment. It advances diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility, and contributing to understanding, tolerance, and peace across nations, which we all know the world needs a lot more of today. And when it comes to residents and the sentiment in terms of understanding and appreciating this industry, Destination BC conducts a resident perception tourism research study on an annual basis. And it does demonstrate that the majority of this region recognizes the positive, lasting impact that this industry brings to their community. In fact, 70% of residents in the regions across this province agree that tourism enhances the quality of life where they live, and 80% value the contribution that visitors make to their local economy. I want to get into destination development. As I mentioned, that is a big priority for our organization in developing the tourism industry in this province. And as we know, tourism brings great benefits to all the residents in BC, but it doesn't just grow on its own. We have to plan for it and we have to invest in it. And this is where destination development comes into play. So in 2018, Destination British Columbia launched destination development strategies for 20 planning areas across the province. These strategies address the supply side of tourism and provided guidance on how to provide quality infrastructure and remarkable experiences for visitors. Experience the Fraser, fondly known as ETF, is one of the key tourism priorities identified in a number of these strategies, more prominently featured in the Fraser Valley Destination Development Strategy. The Vancouver Coast and Mountains, along with tourism partners in the Fraser Valley and Metro Vancouver, have been working on implementing the ETF since we last presented to the Fraser Valley Regional District Board in 2020. Some key highlights in terms of milestones over the years. In 2009, $2.5 million in provincial funding from the Ministry of Tourism, Arts, Culture, and Sport was given to the Fraser Valley Regional District and Metro Vancouver, and the concept plan and implementation strategy was created. In 2012, pilot projects were created. Further on in 2018, Fraser Valley, Metro Vancouver destination management strategies were completed, and Experience the Fraser initiative was identified as a key objective in that action plan. In 2020, the Fraser Valley Destination Management Council was formed, and it spent the last few years building awareness through meetings with tourism partners, municipal staff, and a few First Nation communities along the Fraser River. A GIS mapping specialist was hired to ground truth the Canyon to Coast Trail, which is the greenway component of the Experience the Fraser. He has mapped an interim route and developed detailed reports for each community. The project team successfully helped ETF communities pursue grant funding to implement projects. And we begin on the work on the ETF website, which has just launched, and we're super excited about that. The website will be a great new tool for this project team and our tourism partners to continue to advocate for the development of ETF in their communities. In the upcoming year, our priority is to increase First Nation representation on the website and support ongoing sharing of the ETF with First Nations communities. So with that, I'd like to hand over to my colleague, Allison, Tourism Chilliwack, to provide a tour of the newly launched website and share an example of how some of this great ETF work presents itself on the website. We will be also here to answer questions after, if you like.
Thank you.
I just want to note that I'm starting to wear stylish glasses because my mayor has good common sense and style, and I feel very influenced by him in my new look today. Good afternoon to everybody, to the board and staff. A big, I know most of you, so it's really great to see all of my friends and colleagues and people from Abbotsford as well as from Chilliwack, Area E, and Area H. And I just really appreciate getting to know everybody personally and also to work together. So I am here because I get to do the really exciting stuff to tell you what we delivered on. But I just want to say a big thank you and kudos to the FVRD for recognizing the value of the Fraser Valley Destination Management Council. And 5 years ago, I was sitting in the same spot. It's been 5 years. We've been through a lot: COVID, floods, fires, whatever you want to talk about. We have all been there. But I just want to give a big shout out to David Urban. I know we all love David Urban, but from our point of view, we really love David Urban. And I think we've shown him how great tourism is. So we really especially appreciate his kudos of being on our Chilliwack board, on the Harrison board, and everything he does. So, it's in your strategic plan. This is a big thing. A lot of regional districts and a lot of groups don't understand the value of having tourism connected to their community and regional district plans, but you guys have. So I really appreciate that. It's helped us get funding. So thank you very much. So on to the Experience the Fraser website. This website is really for all of us here, from the municipalities, from the tourism organizations, the regional districts that are involved, including Metro Vancouver, First Nations, everybody that's at the table, especially the municipalities. It's a tool. It's a tool to use when you're looking at what I can do to make a difference on this trail. It's a long-term initiative. Don't get me wrong. I'm probably going to be retired before the whole thing is done, but I might be in the background and can't wait to be there to see it all come to life. But it's about doing it in chunks and finding ways to actually find tangible things within your community. So on this website, you'll see the map that's been done, dedicated, and every time you look at your community, you can see the projects that have been identified, what is needed in every area, and please use it as a tool. This is not meant for visitors. This is meant for us to use. The plan maybe in the future is to use it for that. But this right now is something that we've all been looking for. It's like when somebody says, what is Experience the Fraser? So please, I encourage all of you, if you Google it right now, it's not good, okay? Because it's that fresh and new. It hasn't been indexed yet, but it will be very soon and very shortly. So I encourage you to experiencethefraser.ca. I do also want to make a note of one of the examples I'm going to show you is, of course, in Chilliwack. I do represent Chilliwack, but all of us here as a team, we work together collectively to be the voice of destination development and management in this area. Also with us is Shauna from Tourism Langley, who is not part of the Fraser Valley Regional District, but see, we don't know boundaries in tourism, right? The tourist doesn't know the boundaries, so we all work collectively together. So it's just very important to note the Fraser Valley, including Maple Ridge from Amica, are all together here. So I'm going to give you something tangible to show you what we have done. What we have done is looked and worked with the city of Chilliwack, thanks to the mayor and Nicole and Chris and Harv, is like work together to find ways that we can go after funding. And Vancouver Coast and Mountains has a grant writing team that's available to every community, to the regional district, and to tourism organizations to identify grants out there and bring them all together. So the city of Chilliwack and ourselves as Tourism Chilliwack worked together, put our plans together, found identical things that we can work on to bring to life, and Experience the Fraser was one of them. So we received 3 grants with 315,000 of those grants going towards Experience the Fraser. Out of that is actual tangible outputs. So we took a trail that's 35 kilometers long, already in existence, and put 27 new wayfinding signs. We have 4 new kiosks. And the kiosks are the proper kiosks you see at the top. The other ones are called still wayfinding signs. We did trail improvements, new parking lots. There's many different things that you can do to add value. The other thing that's really important to the Experience the Fraser project is connecting it to our actual community. So it's great that they're going along the trail, but how can we connect them to the core, downtown core, or attraction? So for us, we have District 1881. So bike lanes were created along important routes. There was what do you want to call it? The lining, paint lining. I hate the name. Somebody was going to correct me in ops one day. But all those things are put in place, and that was due to the funding and the support of the tourism organization, the regional, the district, and the city all collectively working together. So my rationale and reason for being here is to encourage other communities to use this tool on the website, to reach out to Yvonne, Chow, and to myself, or to whoever from your tourism organization to find ways of making this come to life in your community. I do want to say one thing just quickly before I end is that everybody always wonders, how are you going to measure the success? Well, the city of Chilliwack has put in trail counters at certain areas, and it's very underutilized. A lot of people don't say, I'm going to go do Experience the Fraser. What they are saying, at least in our community, is let's go do the Vetter Trail, right? It's already well used and everything like that. So our goal and the reason why this is so important to us is visitor and resident dispersion, getting them away from a trail that they already know and they use a lot to new experiences within our community. So we have really focused a lot of energy on that. But if we look at a trail counter in Chilliwack, which was put up in February of 2023 till now, on average, just at Vetter Park, 562 people use that trail daily just by the counter there. On the Experience of Fraser at Gill, it's only 62 people a day. We have a difference to make, and we can make that difference. So what do? We, as Tourism Chilliwack and all your tourism organizations, use us as a tool. So we're using our social media. We're telling people, here's trails less traveled. Here's all the different type of experiences. This is what you can do, and focus more on that rather than, the Vetter Trail or even Mount Chiem, right? So we don't promote those things at certain times of the year. I can talk forever because I'm very passionate, so I'm going to stop. But I just want to say thank you again to the regional district for their support and continued support, to the David Urban over there, who he's probably has us on speed dial, or we have him on speed dial. He doesn't realize it. And we appreciate everybody's time, and we're here for questions. So thank you.
Thank you. And thank you very much for not just your presentation, but your very important work that you do, showcasing our beautiful region. And I think it's more important now than ever that we do that and bring visitors here and help boost the local economies. And thank you, David, for all your work, working with them as well. It is much appreciated. Director Kloop.
Thank you. I want to thank the group for coming out today. I can't believe it's been 5 years since you presented here at the board level, but I do have a couple questions. Great work. I use that trail regularly as I'm fortunate enough to live very close by. However, I do still see some challenges, and those challenges are as a farming community, and I know specifically here in Chilliwack, there has been incidents with e-bikes and irrigation. We're currently irrigating on both sides of the dike right now. So we do have infrastructure in place, but there's still people out there not realizing they're in farm country. So I'm just kind of curious, are you connecting with visitors that they need to be respectful of where they are? And I also think of another situation where people let their dogs run off leash and their dog droppings, or whatever you want to call it, and I use other terminology as a farmer, but it is proven to cause cows to abort. So I'm just wondering what the engagement piece is with respect to the user and the area they're in.
Chair to Councillor Kloop, absolutely. I think we do lots of know before you go, be prepared, don't do this, don't do that. However, we have not done farming. So I would love to take that as a takeaway and see how we can work and see what you already do with the city of Chilliwack and see how we can implement it on there. I'm all for it. And it's making sure the signage is correctly done in a tasteful way collectively and not just another don't do this, don't do that sign, but we can do it and then express it online through our social media. We do it for campfires, right? We do it, don't wear a life jacket, all that type of stuff. So I say let's easily do that for the farm side and awareness because it's very important. So thank you.
Yeah, and I think in Matsqui and some of these other areas that farmers do utilize both sides of the dike, and that means even during harvest season, we're using the dike to actually go down the dike to reach our pieces of land on the other side of the dike. And as you drive more people out there, there's more potential for conflict. So I think it's a really important piece to connect with the adjoining landowners as well as the users to make sure that everybody's on the same page. One other question, how do you guys go about directing traffic to key areas? Because again, as a dairy farmer in that area, sometimes the road gets lined up where I'm at and then my milk truck can't get in or my feed trucks can't get in, and people don't recognize that they're in the farm world, and we need to make sure that we direct the traffic to key areas like Jesperson. I think Matsqui has a parking lot, some of these other areas, but rather than using, like, for instance, Gill Road or some of these other areas where they can clog up and create challenges. I'm just wondering what that process looks like.
Easy way for us is just to ensure we know that those areas are like having parking issues, and then just to encourage people to use the following parking lots, the ones that are less used. We do it all the time for things along the Vetter Trail, right? So everybody goes to Vetter Park. One of our projects is at Peach Park on purpose, and now one being built at Lickman. So to your point, I would love to take this conversation and carry it on and easily change it and use our tools. And we've got a large following, and especially the Fraser Valley group as well. So it's really important, but we will build it into our experience of Fraser planning as well.
Perfect.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks again for all the work you've been doing on this. I'm looking at your website. It looks great already, so I'm sure it'll only get better. Thank you.
Kudos to Vancouver Coast Mountains for all their helps.
Thank you. Director Facio?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you for your presentation and all the folks who are here this evening. And of course, thank you. We love you too, David, as well. Just a couple of questions. Will the website explain where the trail is, where you are with the trail? I believe Harrison is identified as one of the nodes at some point, whenever it's not sure when, but I know when David first started this project, it's going to be one of the nodes. And also in these beautiful trails, is there amenities such like resting places for those with challenges?
Absolutely. So as you will see in the section, I'm just going to focus on the one that I know the best right now. You'll see that there's resting places, including benches at certain locations. And every time you click on your community or area, you would be able to see. And if we're missing something, the key is that we're operating and running the website as a group. We just add it. So what you will see specified specifically for your area, if there's something that is incorrect or needs updating or a status update, we'd be happy to do it. But I encourage you to look at the area, click on it, and it will show you what we've outlined is the priorities of what could be done for Experience the Fraser. And again, it is a long-term plan. As you know, it's not all connected, but we have great projects. I just want to note the First Nations project on Gilbar is a very important one. So there could be existing projects too. If you have existing projects that are included on Experience the Fraser, on the Fraser River, it's not too late to connect it to Experience the Fraser. And there's some funding opportunities and connections that way. So what they're doing at Gilbar with Cham Nation is also part of what we're doing, and we're connecting the two pieces together. But to your point, you can easily go on there, and we'd be happy, reach out to Yvonne Chow to make that connection and make sure it's correctly labeled. So
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Seeing no other speakers, I will just say thank you again for all your great work in your presentation. Right, next item, please.
Item 7.1 is the draft Fraser Valley Regional District Board meeting minutes of June 26, 2025.
We have a motion. Director Smith, seconded by Director Gill. All in favor? Motion's carried. Next item.
Items 8.1 through 8.3 are committee minutes for information and matters arising. Happy to separate any of those items.
Anyone? Doesn't look like it. Excuse me. Next item.
9.1 is the 2025 UBCM staff meeting request. There is a motion for your consideration.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Moved by Director Facio, seconded by Director Shahal. No speakers. All in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion's carried. Next item.
10.1 is the treasury update for the second quarter of 2025.
Any questions? Director Gibson?
I'm not familiar with, thank you, Madam Chair. Meridian Capital, is that a credit union? I did a little research on it and it was a bit unclear to me.
Sure. We'll just have our Deputy CFO, Beth Klein, answer that question.
Through the chair to Director Gibson, yes, it is a credit union.
All right. No other speakers? All right, next item.
10.2 is the 2024 Canada Community Building Fund, Community Works Fund reporting. Again, an information item, but happy to answer any questions.
No speakers. Next item.
10.3 is funding commitment, Community Works Fund. There is a motion for your consideration.
Do I have a mover? Director Clute, seconded by Director Dixon. All in favor? None opposed. Motion's carried. Next item.
10.4 is Financial Plan 2025 to 2029 Amendment for July.
Do we have a mover? Director Westering. Thank you. And Director McMahonic. All in favor? None opposed. Motion's carried. Next item.
11.1 is the Fraser Valley Regional District Zoning Amendment Bylaw number 1648 to facilitate rezoning of 3 properties adjacent to Coquihalla River Provincial Park in Electoral Area B.
Do we have a mover? Director Adamo, seconded by Director Smith. Seeing no speakers, all in favor? None opposed. Motion's carried. Next item.
11.2 is the Fraser Valley Regional District Official Community Plan for portions of Electoral Area C, Lake Erock and Harrison Mills, bylaw number 1747.
Do we have a mover? Director Dickey and Director McMahonic and Director Reed.
Thank you, Chair. Just a question. I recognize that this is for EAs only, but I still had a question, if I may. Just wondering about the public input on the OCP amendment that originally went through for the Harrison Rise project and what that consultation looked like, how people felt about the project moving forward. And if there, I think in the staff report, it said there was generally decent feedback on it, but just wondering if it's worthwhile moving forward if that's not what the community wants. So just maybe a question about what the feedback was.
All right, who wants to take that one? Director Dickey?
Thank you, Madam Chair. The public hearing is scheduled for August, so that's when we'll get the feedback from the community. I think perhaps maybe Mr. Daniels would like to speak further to this.
Thank you, through the chair. In May, we brought forward a What We Heard report that summarized submissions that were received in January through March of this year, essentially on the first reading draft of the community plan. We received some 43 written submissions, generally from people local to the area. The general theme in the submissions was that many residents of the area felt that the proposed density of the development was too high for a residential area. I would say that's the thrust of the reaction that we got from a majority of respondents. And so again, that was 43 written submissions that we had received in the first quarter of this year.
Okay.
Okay, you good?
Yeah, I'm good. It's easy.
Okay. Thank you. Director McCahonick?
Yeah, I think it's important to note that the Scowlets are in favor of some of the things that are anticipated going forward, and it isn't. And this is the OCP. This isn't a development. This is an OCP public hearing, and I think it's really important that we keep that in mind. Thank you.
All right, seeing no other speakers, I'll call the question. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion's carried. Next item.
11.3 is the Fraser Valley Regional District Othello Road Fire Protection Service Area Amendment Bylaw number 1749.
We have two motions. Motion number one. All right. Director Clute, seconded by Director Adamo. Seeing no speakers, all in favor? Motion's carried. Motion number two. Director Adamo, seconded by Director Smith. All in favor? Motion's carried. Next item.
11.4 is the Fraser Valley Regional District North Cultus Sewer System Service Area Amendment Bylaw number 1786.
Do we have a mover? Director Dixon, seconded by Director Dreesen. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion's carried. Next item.
11.5 is the Fraser Valley Regional District Parkview Street Lighting Service Area Amendment Bylaw number 1787.
Do we have a mover? We've got Director Workington, seconded by Director Reed. All in favor? Motion's carried. Next item.
11.6 is the Fraser Valley Regional District Electoral Area D Integrated Water System Service Area Amendment Bylaw number 1792.
Your mover, Director Barkman, seconded by Director Dickey. All in favor? Motion's carried. Next item.
Moving down to 11.11, which is the Fraser Valley Regional District Sub-Regional Animal Control Service Area Amendment Bylaw number 1797.
Moved Horn.
Sorry, who was that? Oh, Director Horn. That's motion number one.
Yes.
All in favor? Oh, sorry. We didn't get a seconder. Got a little ahead of myself. I was so excited because we were bopping along there. Seconded by Director Workington. Director Horn.
Yes, very quickly, I just wanted to say three things. The first is I don't think he's there this evening, but to Director Siemens, we had a quick discussion when this came up at RACS, and I really appreciated his sentiments. The language we used is this is obviously a two-way street, and in this case, a five-way street when we're trying to think regionally. So I really appreciated that sentiment. We have worked hard, I think, around this table to be equitable partners, and I know we could have just left this without reviewing it, but I appreciated the fact that that folks are working in good faith. The second is a question to staff. I had asked, I let them know in ahead of time that I was going to ask, do we know how much overall Mission has paid since there was an observation that the funding formula wasn't proportionate any longer?
Do we have an answer for that?
Sure, yes, we can just turn that back to our Deputy CFO, Beth Klein.
Thank you for the question. So through the chair to Director Horn, we did some calculations in the background going back 10 years. And looking at it, it averaged around $50,000 a year, which is equivalent to about $2.88 for average residential taxpayer using the current assessment data.
So about $500,000 in total?
Correct.
Thank you. And then my last question, Madam Chair, is I had asked this during RACs and said I would ask it again. At the last meeting, there was a question about it going back to various councils, and I think Ms. Kinnaman did further digging on that and had a clarification. So I wondered if it could be repeated here that it was, I think, 3 of the 5 councils at minimum would need to, if I remember correctly.
Chair Ross, I think we'll just have our corporate officer answer this question.
Thank you. Through the chair to Director Horn, if this bylaw receives 3 readings tonight, it will go back out to all the municipal participants for the council's approval, and we'll be looking for 3 of the 5 approval in order to move forward with that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, see no other speakers, so I'll call the question. All in favor? Motion's carried. And motion number 2. Moved by Director Gill, second Director Castle. All in favor? None opposed. Motion's carried.
Move motion number 3, Madam Chair.
Director Facio, second Director Dixon. All in favor? Motion's carried. Next item.
11.12 is the Fraser Valley Regional District Indemnification Bylaw number 1798.
Okay, another one where we have 3 motions. We have a mover for motion number 1. Director Pranger, Director and second Director McCahonick, all in favor. Motion is carried. Motion number 2, Director Shahal, seconded by Director Gibson. Okay, Director Gibson.
Thank you, Chair. Why are we including former board members and former employees?
We just have our corporate officer answer that question.
Thank you. Through the chair to Director Gibson. That definition is actually set out in the Local Government Act, so that's set out in law. So that's not a choice. That is regional district official under the Local Government Act is considered current and former.
So we're just emulating whatever the model is. That's all we're doing. Okay, thank you.
All right, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion's carried. And motion number 3. By Director Dreesen, second Director Clute. All in favor? None opposed? Motion's carried. Next item.
11.13 is the Fraser Valley Regional District Zoning Amendment Bylaw number 1799 to introduce a new definition for tourist accommodation unit and permit tourist accommodation uses with interior access.
Okay, this is EAs only. Do we have a mover? Moved by Director Dixon, seconded by Director Adamo. All in favor? Oh, Director Gibson, did you have a question? No? Okay. Oh, Dixon. All right. Now all in favor. Any opposed? Motion's carried. Next item.
Moving down to the permit section of our agenda, I believe there is a script in front of you, Chair.
Yes, thank you. Pursuant to Part 14, Division 9 of the Local Government Act, this is the opportunity for the FERD Board to hear from the public regarding the one development variance permit listed on the agenda for this meeting. Anyone who believes that their interests are affected by the proposed applications will be given an opportunity to speak. If you have any verbal comments with respect to these permits and you are joining us by Zoom on a computer or smart device, I would ask you to please press the raise hand function. When it is your turn to speak, you will be asked to unmute yourself. If you are joining us on Zoom by phone, please press *9, and this will notify staff that you wish to speak. When you are prompted to unmute yourself, please press *6. Those of you wishing to speak are asked to begin your presentation by providing your name and address, which will be recorded and form part of the official record. Please limit your comments to 5 minutes and confine your remarks to the application at hand. Ms. Kinnaman?
Item 12.1 is Development Variance Permit 2025-06 to increase building height from 7.75 meters to 9.32 meters for 4490 Estate Drive in Electoral Area E.
Is there anyone wishing to speak to this in the audience? Please come ahead. Sorry, do we have his mic on? We just want to make sure you're recording that people on Zoom can hear as well.
Hello, my name is Richard Schritter. I reside at 4480 Estate Drive, right next door to the property. I am the owner of 4490 Estate Drive as well. I just want to ask, did you receive, I sent an email letter showing pictures of the neighborhood, the other houses. Just want to make sure that everybody received that.
I'm assuming that would have been forwarded to them all, yes. Thanks.
Okay. So I just want to state that other houses, like the existing house I'm in, is actually taller than this one. And the other ones I took pictures of look like they're taller. So I'm hoping that we can get this passed because it's not out of proportion with the neighborhood.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Is there anyone online?
I'm just going to go to our online viewers and see if there's anybody. And it doesn't appear anybody has any questions online.
Oh, all right. I have to call 3 times now.
I think it's fine. I think we can just get a mover and a seconder.
All right. Do we have a mover? Director McConick? So I think this is EAs only, isn't it?
Yeah, that's correct.
So seconded by Director Johnson. Any comments? No, all in favor? Any opposed? Seeing none, motion's carried. Next item.
13.1 is BC Transit 2025 Fare Review for the Agassiz, Harrison, Hope, and FVX services. There is a motion for your consideration.
Moved by Director Pranger. Do we have a seconder? Director Smith. Seeing no comments, all in favor? None opposed, motion's carried. Next item.
13.2 is the funding application to the Strategic Priorities Fund.
We have a mover. Director Dixon, seconded by Director Damo. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion is carried. Next item.
13.3 is Indigenous Services Canada referral for the Shapamo First Nations proposed addition to reserve in Electoral Area B.
Do we have a mover? Director Damo, seconded by Director Castle. Seeing no speakers, I'll call the question. All in favor? Any opposed? None. Motion's carried. Next item.
13.4 is update to the framework of considering soil-related applications and referrals.
Move, Madam Chair.
Moved by Director Castle, second by Director Facio. All in favor? None opposed. Motion's carried. Next item.
13.5 is Agricultural Land Commission applications 2025-03 and 2025-04 for ALR inclusion at 41063 North Nacommon Road in Electoral Area G.
This is EAs only. Moved by Director Castle. Do we have a seconder? Director Wardenberg. All in favor? None opposed. Motion's carried. Next item.
13.6 is Agricultural Land Commission application 2025-08 boundary adjustment subdivision between 8931 and 9079 Sylvester Road in Electoral Area G.
Again, EAs only. Moved by Director Castle, second Director Dixon. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion's carried. Next item.
Items 15.1 and 15.2 are items for information. Happy to separate either of them.
Anyone? Doesn't look like it.
And then we move to items for correspondence, 16.1 through 16.3. And I would just note that there is a request for a response on items 16.2 and 16.3.
Great. Would anyone like to move any kind of response to either of those? Director Horn?
Yes, I don't want to speak to my own letter, so I'll leave that one if somebody else sees merit in it. I do want to I do want to move that a letter of support be granted for the mission grant application. If somebody does go back and make a motion related to 16.1, I'll happily speak to it if needed, but I'll move 16.3 result in a letter.
We have a seconder, Director Castle. All in favor?
Davidson?
Oh, sorry. Did you wish to speak to that one?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, not to this specific grant application, but in general to the practice of issuing or generating letters of support for other jurisdictions that we might be competing with that same jurisdiction for the grant. A lot of these grant programs could be competitive. So this specific grant program, I just wanted to throw that idea out there because it does give me pause. If we're going out supporting one grant, we may be undermining the case for our own. And I'm wondering if staff or anybody for that matter have any comments or thoughts on that. Thank you.
Anyone? Ms.
Yes,
Kinnaman?
Chair, I would be very happy to offer comments on that one through you to Director Davidson. It isn't uncommon on many of these grant programs where we're asked to provide letters of support. And in the past, we've certainly made it very clear through the grant funders that that wouldn't disadvantage our own grant applications within the program. In this particular instance, in fact, we were asked if we would like to partner with the City of Mission on that application. And I indicated to the CAO that that wouldn't be appropriate in this case to be a partner on the application, simply because we had our own application in play. So I expect that we may actually approach other jurisdictions for letters of support on our application. It does just form part of the overall package. And from my understanding, it doesn't disadvantage the competitive process.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I don't think we have a need to call for the vote again because that was a more general comment. So thank you for that. All right.
Madam Chair, Horn again, please.
Yes, please go ahead.
Just on the first letter, I don't think there is any specific ask by the City of Mission for anything. We just CC'd and wanted all of our partners to be aware of the collective efforts that are going on in multiple communities, so that through UBCM or other opportunities for advocacy, we could individually add our voices. So I don't think there was a need there for anything specific tonight.
Okay, thank you, Director Horn. Right. There is another, Director Gibson.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Just a brief question on our philosophy on these. So when we have a member municipality or some other agency requests endorsation and it doesn't conflict with anything that we're aspiring to do as a board financially, would we generally automatically approve them when they come across our desk? Or what is our philosophy? How do we address them when maybe Abbotsford, we may be applying something for Abbotsford. We're not on the list, but we might have requested the regional district endorse something that we're applying for. What is our philosophy in addressing those?
Through the chair to Director Gibson, our practice is that when asked for a letter of support, we bring it for the board's consideration. I can't recall an instance where we've had multiple competing projects such as this one, where several municipalities would all be asking for letters of support. I would say in this particular instance as well, I think for the board's awareness, my understanding is that the project in question could advantage the regional district as well. And so I think that there's some alignment there and it makes good sense to offer a letter of support. And I think that that would just ultimately be the board's decision and whether this aligned with whether something in the strategic plan or something of a regional nature that they felt strongly about. So I think on a case-by-case basis, if there was ever a situation where we had multiple competing ones where something maybe wasn't aligned, or if we weren't able to submit multiple letters of support, we would evaluate them and bring a recommendation for the board's consideration.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak to one of the other items? Right, seeing none, we will move on to
So
the
actually, Chair, so I just was wanting to clarify if we have
Okay.
a motion to send that letter of support for 16.3.
Oh, I thought we did, and it was passed.
Do we need to vote on that one? I don't know
It
that
was-
did we vote on that one?
We did. It was moved by Director Horn. I
Okay.
forget who the seconder was. We've voted, but just as we are ending our vote, that's when Director Davidson.
Okay, so then I
Ask
do
a
need to
question.
clarify because the second letter that was requesting action was not the letter from Mayor Horn. It was the letter from the school district. And so I just
Yes.
wanted to make sure that we're all clear that we're also going to send a letter of support on that one as well, because there was no discussion on that item.
I thought Director Horn's motion was only for the one letter for 16.3. No,
Okay, so if there's no interest in responding to the letter from the school district?
anyone? Director Reed.
I don't see the ask. And so maybe I'm just not clear on, like, I know that Chilliwack School District is looking for a proposed site. And so I think I'm not clear on what the ask is from the board.
Sure. So through the chair to Director Reed, the letter that we received identified that the school district was looking for either us to pass a resolution accepting the eligible school site proposal or respond in writing to the school board indicating that it does not accept the school board's proposed site requirements for the school district and indicate to which it objects. So I'd appreciate
So you're
direction.
looking for a motion to approve the eligible
Accept
school site.
the proposal. Yeah.
And can that come from Chilliwack, or I will make that motion?
All right, moved by Director Reed, seconded by Director Popov. Director Horn.
Yes, I think Director Reed's last portion there of the question is related to mine. I'm a bit confused why this came to the regional district and not to Chilliwack, or is it coming to both? Is it in an electoral area that serves the Chilliwack school district? Can somebody help me with that?
Through the chair to Director Horn, unfortunately, this is the information that we have. I suspect that it came to the regional district as well as the city of Chilliwack. So it is a little bit unusual for us, but we certainly wouldn't want to be the organization that's holding up their process.
No, agreed. I just wondered why. So if it's going to both, that's fine. I just don't want to be in a position where we're usurping Chilliwack, the city of Chilliwack. Thank you.
All right, Director Clute.
Yeah, thank you.
Did you? I'm
Sorry.
sorry. I'll
Sorry,
let Director Reed do a follow-up and then
Okay.
Director Clute. Sorry.
I too am a little bit confused why I came to I don't ever recall seeing this at a regional district board level, and I wonder if
You mean at
they
the
have.
city?
Well, I haven't seen it at the city level, have we? I haven't, but I do read my agendas, I promise. But I just, is it because their students are coming from the electoral areas into the city of Chilliwack School District? I assume maybe that's the rationale, like area.
Through the chair to Director Clute, if you'd like, we could table this item and we could follow up and get more information. Our corporate officer has just noted in the second paragraph of the letter, it refers to that the ESSP was prepared following consultation with the city of Chilliwack and the Fraser Valley Regional District. So beyond what you have in front of you, I don't have a lot of information.
Thank you. Director Reed.
Thanks, Chair. So I think this is referring to the site out in Rosedale, the old elementary school site that we talked about at council and approved at council. Maybe you were not at that meeting. And I'm thinking that it has relation to because it's in Rosedale that it's going to impact the electoral areas as well.
Okay. Thank you. Director Horn.
Yeah, it's just on the subject of deferral. I think that wouldn't work just because there's 60 days as the window. So with what Director Reed just said, because I had looked at it with the thought of tabling it as well, but I think we will forsake any chance for commentary. So I'll be supporting the motion as it was laid.
All right. All in favor of the motion? Any opposed? None. Motion's carried. Next item.
Okay, moving down to reports by board directors.
Anyone? Director Facio.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a brief report that this coming Saturday, there'll be 62 teams, approximately 1,200 rowers hitting the shores of Harrison for the famous Dragon Boat event. So if you have nothing to do on Saturday, please come down to Harrison. We'll make you very welcome. And if you bump into this old guy, you may get something. I don't know. Thank you very much.
I just spent a whole week there and I didn't get anything, Leo. All right, Director Smith.
Thank you, Madam Chair. August 14th to 17th, we have the world-class chainsaw competition in Hope. We do it every 2 years. It's usually a very good event to come out. It's a free event and we have lots of things for everybody to do. And both Friday and Saturday night, we have music too. So we make it a family thing and we light up the carvings at night. So take a look and just come out and join us. I had the pleasure of bringing our communication, Daniel Laporte, down yesterday to meet with Samantha Piper here, communications. So we're trying to put the communications of Hope together with Fraser Valley Regional District, because last time when we had the flood, that didn't go very well. So we want to take it to a new level, and we're glad that very receptive and open the doors for ideas for other communities to share in that. So when we have a thing, so if communications can have that, it makes it a lot easier for staff to do things when they've been talking to each other. So thank you very much to Ms. Piper for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Director Castle.
Thank you, Chair Ross. I'd just like to take this opportunity to congratulate a longtime Area G resident, Peter Dreesen, on the occasion of his 100th birthday, which he is celebrating today. Not only have the Dreesen family farmed on the Coman Island for many decades, they are also big-time contributors to our community and beloved by many, including our own Director Dreesen, who is understandably proud of her husband's OPA. Happy 100th birthday, Peter Dreesen.
Thank you for that. I think we may have a relative at the table.
Yes.
Director Dreesen.
Yeah, thank you. I also wanted to say happy birthday to Opa Dreesen is what we call him in our household. It's pretty remarkable to think of all the change that he's seen in DeRoche over the past century that he has lived. He's part of a generation that has helped build a lot of our rural communities, and his life reflects a lot of the values that I think many people still hold true today. Family, strong with family, rooted in their land and working very hard. So he still lives independently on the family farm, and this photo is a special one as well because it's with my son, who's one of his 72 grandchildren, and the only grandchild that is actually shares a name with him, also Peter Dreesen. So yeah, thank you for recognizing that, Director Castle. I appreciate it, and I'll pass that along to him.
And happy birthday, Mr. Dreesen, from the whole board.
He's wearing a cool shirt too.
Yes. All right, Director Horn.
Well, I don't think I can compete with 100 years of history, but I do want to remind people that it'll be the 38th year for the truly world famous Mission Folk Festival, starting tomorrow and running through Sunday. And you can buy your tickets online, get out and see a bigger and better lineup than ever before. Come and enjoy Fraser River Heritage Park and the beautiful weather.
Wonderful. Thank you. All right. Anyone else? Director Kloot.
Thank you. Dreesen's beautiful farm. And in case Opa's listening along, gefeliciteerd met uw verjaardag. So there you go. That's awesome. That's really incredible to be 100 years. In case anybody wants to see a wonderful fair, Chilliwack's Fair, 153rd annual fair is taking place on August 8th through 10th. We're lucky still to have a really good fair within our community and this end of the valley. And the agri fair is good too. Don't kid yourself over there. But yeah, just I wanted to put that out there as well. And like listening to the tourism people, like she'd never been to Chilliwack. I'm like, what? Where have you been? I know that highway's a zoo, but anyway, it's good to see people out and about and enjoying the valley.
Thank you, Director Kloot. Now we can't let you talk about the Chilliwack Fair without talking about our Abbotsford Agri Fair. Director Castle, would you like to take this one?
Yes, thank you, Chair Ross. My two colleagues on either side from the city of Abbotsford have both been tapping me on the shoulder. I tried to leave my Agri Fair hat at the office this afternoon, but we are preparing for the 116th edition of Abbotsford Agri Fair. this August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And I'll tell you what Chilliwack Fair doesn't have. It doesn't have monster trucks. We've got monster trucks coming to Abbotsford, and we invite you all out August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And since there might be some Area G residents listening tonight as well, we are having our first annual Desroches Community Fair at the Desroches Community Hall on August 23rd. So I think we're all fairly excited about what's coming in August. Thank you.
A lot of wonderful things happening this summer, excuse me, in our beautiful Fraser Valley. Director Popoff.
And just on the fair, talking here, we had a camel at our fair. You got a camel at your fair meeting? Just asking. Because I think we kind of topped the monster trucks with a camel.
All right, Director Adamo, what's happening in your area?
We don't have anything like that. There'll be no live animals, but we do have the 3rd annual Sunshine Valley Car Show. But 150 cars will be present. Cars, motorcycles, and boats this year for the first time. A couple of specialized jet boats will be in appearance. So that's 11 to 3 on the 10th of August in the Sunshine Valley. And also because we won't have a meeting before this takes place, I'm proud to speak about Hope Brigade Days, which takes place 6, 7, 8 of September. It's the weekend after the long weekend, and it's the single largest fair in the Upper Fraser Valley with more than 10,000 people attending. It's the last fair, the actual last carnival fair of the season for that whole area. So things for the kids from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we'll be featuring 5440 on the Saturday night in the big Motorsports Bowl. And it's also the longest running motorsports event in the province of British Columbia that continuously operates still. Is that correct, Mayor Smith? There you go. So
longest running demo in Canada.
We don't have monster trucks, I'm sorry to say, but there will be a couple of local trucks that are quite large just on the streets. So come out and enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you. Director McConaughey.
Great, thank you. So I'm just really happy to report I met with Sean Holman, with UVic and Damian Gillis yesterday. And UVic received $2.5 million for their climate disaster project. And they'll be out filming our residents that were impacted by the climate events. And they're going to showcase the valley and what's happened there for the 4th anniversary. And so I'm really pleased for our residents that their stories were going to be told and showcased in that way. And then after that is all done and a little bit of time has passed, we're going to use some of the filming for social media campaign to try and get them positioned, because although the government, the province has said no to our residents, they've said no recently at 2 other cases and changed their minds. So we're going to keep pushing on their behalf. So anyway, so once we get that done, it'll be really nice to see the project done, and it'll be open to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Pranger.
Thank you. I'm fairly certain that another fair is coming up. It's the Agassiz Fall Fair and Corn Festival on the 12th and 13th. And we also have lots of agricultural features, and we are looking forward to seeing at least 10,000 people in our community that day. Thank you, and I wish every other fair great success.
Thank you. All right, I think one more, Director Smith.
All right, just want to bring up, so we're working on the spray park in Hope and that, and so a 10-year-old girl met me in my office, and she wanted to help with fundraising for it. So we're having a bottle drive on Saturday. It's Isabel Wright's fundraiser for the spray park. So we've had lots of volunteers coming out to pick up stuff, but we're doing a story in the paper and everything else because we wanted to be part of her history. Remember that she's our future volunteers in that, and so we want to do that. So thank you.
Should have told us before the board meeting. We would have brought our bottles. All right, Director Lowen.
Air show.
Yeah.
August 8, 9, 10. Be there.
Okay, have we finally run out of events to showcase? I think we have. All right,
Yes,
next
I
item
think
is
we've covered every single weekend between now and the middle of September. So Nobody should be complaining about lack of things to do.
Yes.
So moving down to public question period for items relevant to the agenda, we'll just turn things over to our corporate officer, Jamie Van Ness.
Thank you. We no longer have any members of the public joining us in person. We do have 2 members of the public still online with us on Zoom. So if you do have a question relevant to the regional district board agenda, you can just hit that raise hand function to indicate you have a question. We're just now down to 1 member of the public. And it looks like we do not have any questions. So we can move along.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll just resume our closed meeting. If you just give us a couple of minutes to get the room ready.